This band? I like this band. I wrote it down so I don't forget who they are. Oh, I remember. Fucking Slam! We're back. Metal Horror Madness for another episode. We're here to talk about some stuff that's near and dear to my precious little heart. Some mental health, some mental health. I met a lot of you metalheads out there during the years, over the summers, at the tours, the metal moms, the metal wives, the metal sisters, the metal everybody's. They all want to be around me. I can't help myself. When I got this going on, I got to share it with people. But I got to stop joking around because I'm here to talk about something serious with a serious metalhead who's going to be very inspirational for all of you, who's overcome a lot, who's going to let us know that everything's going to be okay. All the screw-ups that we do over and over and over, like me on every Saturday. Madman, put the PBR tools away. Save some drinks for somebody else. You can't keep doing it. But enough about me. We're here with Jordan from Metal Health for Metalheads. For metalheads, because you guys need extra mental health. I know I sure do. I talk to myself. Sometimes I talk back. I talk to the mirror. It talks into me as well. But enough about me again. Was this all about me? Jordan, it's great to have you on. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am always doing good to the public.
Yeah,
right?
That's fair.
But not always inside. There's probably a lot going on here. You guys would assume that. I'm not the most normal person out there.
Normal's overrated.
That's what I needed to hear. Thank you, because sometimes I scare myself. How did you get into heavy metal? What got you into this music before we get into your sick brand and what you're trying to preach, which I really do respect?
Oh, thank you. Oh, gosh. Okay, what got me into metal? Okay, I got a couple stories to kind of take you there.
Okay.
But I think I got to start way back at the base. So, I was homeschooled originally, and I'm a pastor's kid. So I grew up on 25 acres in the middle of nowhere and very secluded. Like, the only music that was in my house was worship music and John Denver. So I had like zero exposure to the world. And my brother and my cousin were walking back from the bus one day, and they found a Godsmack CD on the ground. And they came home. It was all scratched up. You know, it was the very first Godsmack CD. They put it in the computer, started playing, and we were all like, what is this? What is happening? You know, because if all you know is church music, that was a big deal. But I'm not even a big Godsmack fan, but it was just that first sound that was of the world and kind of got me interested. And then from there, we just did like a deep dive and started finding more bands, and we didn't even know where to look. So that is like the origin story of the first time something other than worship music hit my ears. But I was hooked like immediately. And then I would say, God, my first show ever was the Black Dahlia Murder. So I was probably like 13. And that show changed my life, like completely. I got into like The Devil Wears Prada, Black Dahlia Murder, August Burns Red, you know, those type of bands. But seeing them live for the first time, I just remember like looking up and seeing, you know, the front man with his shirt off, heartburn tattoo, you know, pumping his fist, smiling, like so happy. And then the mosh pit and getting thrown in. And it was just, I don't know, something came alive in me, and it never went away. That's my, I'm repping right there.
That's sick. And I love to hear how people get into the scene. And it usually is by a big generic band. For me, it was David Lee Roth, the child of the 80s, and Alice Cooper. So those bands led me into eventually, you know, then like the Sabbaths, the Ozzies, the Thrash, the Death, and then the floodgates open, right? Once you make it to death metal, you can listen to anything now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're saying. I love all you death metal bands. I don't know what the hell you're saying, though. And I don't want to know, actually. I see the album covers. I go to the shows with these deranged lunatics. So it's nice to hear. A band like Godsmack will take a lot. Like, people will come at them a lot in the scene. People come at a lot of bands that were bigger, more generic, things like that. I can't stand that. Because just like you said, that one CD, that one band got you into all this music, which then led you onto other journeys in life. And I totally understand, and it's why I can't stand real gatekeeping. Because so let's say you listen to Godsmack, everyone tells you they suck, they bully you, never listen to them again, you never get into metal, and it's all over. It's why you got to promote everything, because it's going to lead to those other things. So that was super cool.
Yeah.
That is the most random how I got into metal story I've ever heard.
Well, that's good.
And when you went to that first show, you were like, did you feel, when I went to my first show, leading question, not supposed to be doing this, but I do what I want. I'm the madman. I'm not all there. When I went to my first show, Testament, 1994, I was 17. It was the greatest experience in my life, but the most nerve-wracking experience. Because there was all these older people throwing fists in the pit. There was girls jumping on guys' shoulders. There was chaos. And that's why I got addicted to it, but it's almost like my tattoos. I got addicted to the pain and the discomfort and going out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
How did you feel on your first trip there? Were you like, this is immediately for me, or this is like, ugh?
Oh, it was immediate. I think music, like finding the genre itself was immediate too. I think because I was in a home that was so emotionally shut down, and especially being very religious, the only emotions that were even comfortable or allowed, I would say, would be joy or peace. And so everything else was like looked at, or at least taught to me as, you're disconnected from God if you feel angry, or you're, and not to come at anyone's like beliefs. I respect faith, but just growing up in that environment where it was like, if you're not happy, you're disconnected from God. I think it's why I'm so big on emotional intelligence now. And it's so important to see all emotions as healthy and needing to be processed. But not understanding that as a child or as a teen, when I found the genre and I found metal, it was like all of a sudden I had this like access for anger to let it out that was okay. It seemed more performative. It didn't seem like I was sinning, or it didn't seem like I was doing something wrong. Later in therapy, I had a therapist. She noticed my band merch and she goes, "Oh, so what do you do to practice safe anger?" And I'm like, "I don't think I've ever experienced safe anger." And she's like, "I noticed your Born of Osiris shirt." And I was like, my therapist knows what Born of Osiris is. Like, that's sweet. But she was the first one that kind of helped me connect, like, oh my God, I've been practicing like anger my whole life. And that's why I attached to this genre the way that I did, because I went through a lot and I had all these emotions. Like, I had a lot of anger and sadness and trauma, and I had nowhere to put it. I had no outlet, because if it didn't look like peace, then it was unacceptable in, my environment that I was in. So that was really kind of, I think, what I needed it. It was, looking back with what I know now, it was my first regulation tool that I had, like, for my nervous system.
Yep. That's awesome to hear. And with me, it was a total opposite. My upbringing was horrible, very abusive, physically, mentally, tons of stuff that I would just never get into, guys, because that's my business, everybody. That's stuff from my head to work out over and over and relive day after day, night after night. That's not toxic. That's healthy. I just relive the past constantly. I just want to keep going back there. Maybe I should look into the future one day. I don't know. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe that's why I'm talking to you. But I have the opposite. I had all the anger and violence, and we resolved conflict by violence, by yelling, by aggression. So maybe that's why I even felt nervous in that first pit and everything is like, am I just going to the version of hatred that I'm at my house every day and this is what life's about? Until I felt a little different that day. And I knew there was something to channel to get that anger out and to get the negative energy out with people around me that are going to love me, care about me. Yeah, we may be punching each other in the face. Yeah, we may argue over bands. Yeah, we may be a little intense and over us. I don't know if you know this about metalheads. Very over-emotional. Very over-emotional for the act we put on with the public all the time. And, yeah, I had the opposite. I had that type of upbringing. So the things I started doing, metalhead forever, my whole life during the grunge scene, during when new metal got rid of all that stuff, and my friends all bailed. I never bailed on it. It's always been that blanket for me. The biggest thing has been Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper, I have this weird journey of everything that's happened in my life. I can relate where every album was, every time I've seen him almost 40 times. I have like all these different things. Never met him, wouldn't be able to meet him, would emotionally break down and make a fool of myself. I can't do that as Metal Horror Madman. Madman? I don't know. I must have alter egos. This is what happens when you film multiple episodes in a day here. You get it together, Madman. Show them what you're made of. But yeah, I have that connection with music. And what would happen, so with Alice, I got into a lot of the ballads, I Never Cry, Give the Kid a Break, all these different slower songs. The Madman has multiple dimensions here. And I go a lot of times before I go to an event because they will make me scream. I was going to scream fucking Slayer, but I'm trying to be more mild-mannered for this episode. When I scream
You don't have to be yourself, please.
they will make, it's coming, fucking Slayer! I have to scream that at shows hundreds of times, over and over, different people taking videos with it. And when I go do that, when I know I'm going to have an aggressive night, and I mean some of these venues, I am doing that all. It's crazy because Machine Head's playing, I'm screaming fucking Slayer. Nothing makes any sense, but what makes sense in this world nowadays? I will, before a show, not listen to metal. People think I'm, like, insane. Before that, I'll listen to, like, maybe some 70s folk hits, 80s pop, the total opposite. The second when I hit the venue, though, my brain just changes. And the first person, it's like, is it you? Fucking Slayer comes out. I can't help myself. I get so excited. But it's amazing how music can help us cope with things. So I look at those Alice Cooper albums, and I know everywhere I was, the ups and downs of his careers, where he almost died of cirrhosis of the liver, him finding all these different things to get himself out of that. And again, like you say, I may not believe in everything he's into, but that's okay. And I think that's something that's very important for a good mental psyche, is to understand other people's point of views without wanting to get angry towards them. Because all the violence and anger I went through, I never want to project on anybody. Sometimes when I meet people and I'm too intense, I'll dial it back based on their mannerisms, young kids and stuff like that, because I never, ever want someone to feel uncomfortable,
Yeah. I understand that.
Do you have a band?
You seem like you're like a little bit of an empath then, aren't you?
A little bit? You don't even understand. I'll get in fights with friends all the time because I'm soaking in everything and they're doing the same behavior over and over. And I've been guilty. Of that as well. I am such an empath. I soak in everybody's problems and energy. I think I could save the world constantly. I think I fix everything for everybody to a point, this ain't going to shock you, that it ends up hurting myself.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. I have the same curse, but it's a superpower, but it's just knowing how to use it. It's a heavy one.
It's a heavy one, and for those that are going to watch this, and that's why I really was so excited to connect with you and have you on here, because my typical episodes are just me screaming, acting like a lunatic, and I'm like, this is something that's so near to me. I had to go get help. I had to go get a therapist at one time. I had just a lot, the weight of the world, taking care of family that was taking advantage of me, taking care of friends that were taking advantage of me, letting work take advantage of me. And I know it all came from my childhood. I needed acceptance. I was very self-aware of all this, but I couldn't get myself out. It was impossible. I'll never forget walking into everybody. I know I'm the coolest son of a bitch you motherfuckers ever saw. I know you all want to see me. You all want to be me. You all want to hang with me all summer. I know when I go to Louder Than Life and see fucking Slayer, I'm going to cause an earthquake in fucking Kentucky. but I'm also emotional. And I walked into therapy. Jordan, I will never forget. It's haunting me. I don't really revisit this part till right now. I haven't thought about this in a while. Lowest point in my life, out of control, had to get some stuff together, had to get some emotions together. Everything was falling apart. Now, everything in my life wasn't going bad, though, but I was leeching onto the bad. And I went in that office and I bawled my eyes out. I talk about wear your heart on your sleeve. I just was crying. I'm letting that this therapist loved me because she was dealing with a lot of things with addictions and things where people just coming in from the state. And she's like, and she's like, you tell me way too much. Like, you tell me fucking everything. And I've always been like that. So when I meet people, they connect with me very quick. And I'm told this nonstop. And I'm talking about people I just met a week ago. And I'll have other friends go, how? They tell you, because I'm like, I've been through so much like you.
Yeah.
I really do care what they're going through. I really and I'm an empath. I really care. And I just want to see what I can do to impact them. And when I went to that therapist and I saw what that did for me, and I'm not saying everything was perfect, and people think it's a magic thing, a wand. No, this is a lot of time, and it's all on you guys. You've got to want it. You got to be honest. The amount of people I know that have gone to therapy and just lie the whole time, and they just go through the cycle over and over. But I also I left that session, and I hadn't slept for about 3 days. And I was like, MGM, I'm a degenerate. MGM Casino in Massachusetts had opened. And that night, I'm like driving there. It was like an hour drive. It was horrible. It was so hard to get there. I was defeated. I was drained from the session. But I knew by me going there, it gave me the strength to do that. And I don't know where I'd be. I probably wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be here right now. I can assure you I wouldn't be here right now. I didn't want to be here anymore. I've kind of had it because the amount of abuse, like I said, the people that you really care about, people that you let move into your two family, and they destroy it, and you get mad when you're like, you got to leave. You're not paying for these things. You're taking from people. You're holding me back. I wasn't at any concerts and stuff. 10 years maybe. I gave my life to everybody but myself.
Yeah.
So sorry, long-winded talking about empaths, but I don't know how to shut up.
No, that's very relatable. I think that was a huge light bulb moment for me as well. Like going to therapy and realizing that I fucking matter.
Yes.
Like I don't know if it was like that martyr mentality mixed with being an empath. I just thought honestly, I didn't think it just never crossed my mind that I mattered as much as anyone else in the room. And I could feel everyone's pain or discomfort, or even if they're mistreating me, I knew why, even if they didn't. And I just thought it was my job, like, to love and fix and heal everyone else. But at zero, like, it did not matter what they were doing to me. I didn't care about myself enough to walk away or to leave or to, what is a boundary? I mean, I learned that like 6 years ago, I feel like, but it never even crossed my mind that I matter. Like, I just thought I was supposed to, I'm strong enough, so I'll just swallow it and push it down and sacrifice and try. But that's why my slogan here is, you fucking matter. Because I think a lot of us try to heal by fixing everything around us, and we don't look at ourselves, or we don't love ourselves enough to realize that we don't have to tolerate poor behavior, or even in healing, we're so mean to ourselves. We bully the shit out of ourselves, and we don't realize, like I always say, like, that's not healing, that's bullying. Like, if you are trying to fix yourself because you hate yourself, that's bullying, that's not love, that's not healing.
No.
But yeah, I'm just trying to aggressively tell everyone how much they fucking matter, just in case they don't know, because not everyone realizes that.
So true. I put myself in a lot of dangerous situations, I understand, but just as little kids, and they were just like beating him up, and this kid was crying, and I was like, hell no on my watch. And because I came from that. I came from watching that in my house every day. And I was powerless at my house. Because if you dared try to forget that, by crying, you made it worse for everybody in that house. So I vowed from that moment on, and it's a lot of things people see me on social media, where I was like your bands, you like metalcore, you like fucking Barbiecore, you like what you fucking like. You don't let anyone tell you what to do, how to act, how to be, ever. Ever. If you ever been in a narcissistic, abusive situation like that, where you're controlled, and with me, it comes from a family member, like, you don't understand what that's like. And it's so easy to say, why didn't you just leave? Why'd you put up with it? It ain't that easy, guys. Like I said, I fought back to help kids in school getting bullied. That was my way of coping with it. I couldn't tolerate it. I couldn't stand how the school system didn't handle bullying, still doesn't handle bullying the way they should. But I made it my mission in life. I was at Metal and Hardcore last year, and it was 200 stab wounds, and there was the pit where the pit should be, and there was the Palladium, and they started a pit in the back, which I didn't think was cool because there was people that didn't want any of that noise. And I saw this guy, and he starts aiming for the girls. He's purposely aiming for the girls, and I'm like, turned to my head. I'm around. I got away from everybody. Like, that's why I was in the back at that point. I needed to break myself from just talking to everybody. And the guy goes to hit, he sees like the gray, and he goes to hit me, and I was like, oh, wrong motherfucker, sir. Wrong guy. Again, I'm not condoning this. If you need to go get a security guard, you go get a security guard. You do what you got. I didn't get a security guard. I dragged his ass by his hair through the fucking pit and threw him out, and he ran. Because, guys, that's usually what happens with bullies, right? If you can stand up to the bully, but you have to be in a place to do that. You have to know that you're safe. You don't want to get yourself hurt, unalived. You need to make sure you're in a good place. Go get the help you need. But I resonate to the things you're saying, where it's just like you take on everybody's issues. And so you're even taking on the abuser's issues. I noticed I was doing that. And I'd have sympathy for people that were taking from me and stealing and hurting. And again, if I started doing it on my own, I started breaking out of some of that. But until I got therapy, that was not happening. It just wasn't happening. So I believe what you're doing in the scene, and again, long-winded, as you could say, madman, shut the fuck up, and I will, because I do. I just get excited. But I
love it.
Thank you. I sit here and I go, reason I like what you're doing so much and the aggressive messaging, and I'm here to help with it any way I can. As you see, I try and share stuff. Maybe I'll get a video going. I'm all over the place. I look at metalheads in general, and I feel like this is if there's one area where we need this stuff, it's in metal, because every guy wants to try and act too cool. Girls want to be with guys that seem like they're really cool. And guys, there's great guys, girls in this scene. There is a small minority in this. Some people go, this scene's so toxic. I'm like, it's not the fucking scene. It's life. Go into every type. Go into the corporate world, it's like this. Go into the fucking labor. It's all like this. But we're in the metal scene, so it's the metal scene. But the amount of girls that are in troubled relationships with sometimes a lot of guys in bands. And guys, that shit ain't cool with me at all. Don't be my fucking friend. Don't fucking mutual me. I don't give a shit what your follower account is. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how you look, who you hang with. You see me out there and talk, I don't give a shit. Nothing you do impresses me. If you're going to disrespect somebody, especially somebody that can't fight back or brainwash them, the amount of fucking girls I've talked into this scene that have hooked up with guys from bands that they idolized, or maybe they were way too fucking young and the guys pulled out of that bullshit. That shit ain't cool with me. That doesn't make you a fucking tough guy. That doesn't make you cool in the scene. I don't give a shit what band you're fucking with. I don't care if you come call me at a show for this too. I have no respect for you. I have no respect for that stuff. I cannot stand watching anything where somebody thinks it's okay to bully or abuse somebody weaker than them, not in the same mental state as them, or using their status. And I'll tell you, Jordan, like I've had stuff like that plenty of times. I get stuff plenty of times where if I wanted to be the scumbag, I could easily be the manipulative scumbag. And that's the one thing I can't. There are some people in this scene that I just won't even associate with when I hear things. And again, I hope more people can realize that. It's great to have famous friends. It's great to have status. But if you see somebody in a bad relationship like that, don't support anything that's going on with that partner. Don't support that fucking band. Don't support Given the honest truth, I just had to do that with a friend, and I got to tell you, I'm known for this, and it's why I'll have friend breaks a lot because they don't want to hear it. I'm an empath, but I also speak my mind, and because of what I've been, and I always say the same thing. It's never coming from a bad place. It's a place of, I'm 47, guys. I've been around longer. I've been in this situation. I've observed the situation. Get some help. You're worth something, right? And doing that for the metal community. When did you say, like, because it takes a lot of courage to go, I'm going to be a metalhead that's going to talk, because people, they want to fucking hear about drinking and partying, right? That's what metalheads want to hear.
Yeah. I always say we're a tough crowd. But I think because I've been in the scene so long too, I know what I'm getting into. I know what I'm up against. I've had so much of that mentality my whole life too. So I get it. But, you know, we like to present tough.
Yes.
You know, we want people, most of us, we are walking around, in our black clothes and our tattoos and whatever, but we want people to look at us and think, what the fuck is wrong with them, and kind of keep their distance unless they're also like us. It's like everything about, how we dress or how we present is tough and sending the message of, you don't get me unless you do, And so we're a tough crowd. So just in general, it's hard to find people who want to heal and do the work and really look at themselves, understand themselves. That's hard. That's hard enough. The most people want other people to fix their problems, and then go into the metal world where we're all present really tough and we don't want to talk about our emotions. We just want to, we present tough. Like I've presented tough my whole life. Like I wanted to ruin the way I looked for the longest time. I was going to get like the Joker scarification on my face. I wanted to change the narrative of what people saw when they looked at me.
Yep.
And I'm happy I got to do that through expression and clothes. And, I had way too many piercings in my face at a time. To each their own. Like, might not be too many, but it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But, I wanted to change the narrative. I wanted people to look at me and I wanted to be in control of what they thought and not whatever everyone shouted at me before, I changed the way that I looked. But yeah, we're tough people. We present tough, and then trying to find the metalheads that want to heal. I mean, a lot of people are doing it on their own, and that's great. But I think the one thing that was missing, and there's some other people out there, but it's just there's not enough people making it normal to look this way, be this way, love this music, and then also be vulnerable and talk about difficult things and difficult problems. But I try to keep in mind who I'm talking to, because there's amazing influencers out there. There's amazing therapists. There's amazing coaches, and they're all, flooding the internet, with awesome memes and awesome discussions. But there's not a lot of people that look like us, and it's not very relatable is what I found. Like growing up, there was no one like me. No one like me. Everyone kind of saw me, all my therapists, the people I looked up to that weren't in metal. They all, I felt like they all looked at me and saw this metal alt thing as something that would go away once I healed, and not like something that was okay.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was just like I was wearing my brokenness, and that would leave once I'm better or something, and looked down on. And it can't be farther from the truth. Like the more I've gotten into healing and understanding myself, the more I'm like, no, that's a part of me. Like that armor was a part of me. I'm thankful for that part of me. Like I didn't know as many ways to help myself when I was younger, but I know that what did help. And for me to be, ashamed or embarrassed of that or put that in a box is just rude and unfair to that 13-year-old girl who did everything she fucking could, like, I don't have to lose that part of me at all. No. Like, I'm proud of that girl. I'm also happy I have a lot of other healthy coping mechanisms now that's not just scaring people and listening to loud music.
Right.
But that's absolutely still something that I tap into, and it's not going anywhere. I'm like you. It's a lifer thing.
It's a life, and that's the best part of acceptance, right? Is people think that we have to like change into different things at different stages, and it's like, this is how I dress. I'm going to be getting tattoos forever. I enjoy it. I like to dress this way. I feel comfortable. I felt more comfortable. So when I was younger, definitely. Then I went through some stuff, like I said, and then I was in the corporate shit and all this stuff, and I lost a lot of this for a while. It's like the last few years, I've just social media of all its negatives. The positive was me meeting all these people and just being myself. And to your point, I love going out and being this fucking tough guy and looking like this and everything. But I also love, if you notice, more than anything, is throwing on my pink brat shorts and my hot pink shorts, my Ken shirt, shaking my ass in my Converse with my high socks, dressing 80s like I'm in a fucking Richard Simmons video. I love that stuff. And that's me trying to tell everybody, like, hey, just as tough doing that. Just as strong doing that. You want to get any, like, you know, I got my brat tattoo. I've got whatever I want to get, guys. You define who you are by your actions, by being nice to people. Those are the toughest people, by helping people. And yes, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, when I was 16, 17, 15, I'd be in my biker leather jacket, Slayer shirt with all the heads fucking looking like demons. I was a big, big, big kid. And I just wanted everybody to stay away from me. But, spoiler alert, no, it was not because I was this rough and tough guy. I didn't like to fight. I hated fights. When I told you I'd protect those kids from getting bullied, the anxiety I'd have to get before that would happen every single time, over and over. And it was so much. So, and then you do a good thing like that, and then you come home to just narcissistic garbage behavior. And you got to hear all that abuse all night and day, and like the same cycle over and over and over. And then you go to school and you're a hero for this kid, but then you're locked in the house now for a week for suspension. Like, it's just a lot. So when you could get to that place where you're out of those situations, and I'm just trying to say this to anyone that's in that abusive situation right now that thinks like, I've got to stay in it. You just don't. And the thing they love telling you, no one's going to want you, right? That's a big one. You'll never be able to make it without them because they try and set you up. That's what happens. They set you up to fail. You need them. You're tarnished. No one's going to care. And it's all bullshit, everybody. That's all bullshit. There's hope for everybody. That's what Jordan's out here trying to do right now. You know, full circle. It's like, reach out to her. Go check out her social medias. This is a sincere person that's been... We've had private messages, and I'm like, holy shit, she's just like me. She just starts telling you shit just like I do. And I haven't met somebody like that. Usually I'm the one that's just doing that. And I'm like, we're showing you what strong and tough is. This is who we are. Yeah, we're the badass metal people, but we're also fuck-ups, and we make mistakes, and we're goofy, and we like to have fun, and we like to laugh. So when you started this brand, you know, and you said why you did it. When did you finally get that courage, though? Because, again, like you just explained, you're dealing with all of us that are like, fuck you, I don't need any help. I'll just party I want to be dead by fucking 50. Fuck this shit. You know, all that stupid stuff. What made you say, because it's not easy to offer help with mental illness, just like it's not easy for people that don't want to drink or want to quit smoking or want to quit drugs. Guys, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong, and you should also never judge what someone else wants. The common thing, you try and quit any substance, what do? All your friends, they're going to make fun of you. They're going to try and get you to break down. They're going to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. You've had to go through messaging to help people with all this stuff in the metal community. Like you said, that is not easy. So when was that moment where you were like, I'm jumping in. I don't care. Fuck it. I don't care what people say.
As much as I want to say that it was a jump, it was baby steps for me. But I have complex PTSD from a life of abuse and very segmented forms. And I've also always wanted to help people, but I anything new is scary. I have imposter syndrome like anyone else. Why am I good enough? Why do I know enough? Why, I don't have enough of an ego to help people, but I know that when I'm coaching people one-on-one or talking to a friend, I know that there's so many people in my life that are thankful for me, and then I'm a healthy person for them. So I have to go back to that of like, sometimes that's enough. That's all I need to be.
Nice.
But I do have like a lot of knowledge on trauma and helping people and nervous system support that I can share. And okay, so I was at a metal fest a couple years ago. I want to say like 3 years ago. And it was my first show since before COVID. So it had been probably like 5 years since I was at a show.
Yeah.
And in that time, I had also deep dove on my own, like healing way farther than I ever had. I had gotten out of like a very abusive marriage and just sorted everything out. And at that show, it was interesting. I was watching Born of Osiris play. There's a bunch of bands that were like my favorite growing up. So it was very nostalgic.
Yeah.
But while I'm there, I'm realizing like, I felt like I was a kid, and I felt like I'm in that scene with all, how it felt growing up, except we're not kids. I'm looking around and we're like grown ass fucking adults, but being an empath, I have to add something also. Having complex PTSD, sometimes on occasion, I microdose because it turns off the fear receptors in your brain. And personally, I don't deal with medication. So the more natural approach.
Yep.
So I had done that to help me, but something was off, and I like might have. I felt it more than I should have,
Yeah.
more than normal. And being an empath, that was like heightened extremely at that point. So I'm in the show, I'm looking around, I'm feeling everybody. And while the set's on, everyone's having the best time, the energy's up.
Yeah.
But in between, it felt so low and crawly and awful. And like I went to the girls' bathroom and came out, and I just remember like I wanted to hug everybody in the bathroom. They were all looking at themselves with disgust, like literally, and they're just just miserable and looking at themselves and hate themselves and walk out to the bar and slamming shots. And like it was, I don't know, everyone, I didn't feel anyone that felt comfortable to me to be around. It just felt like a lot of self-loathing and pain and hurting. And it was like, I feel like when I was a kid and I'd be at shows, that was why I loved it, because all of a sudden I felt like I was in a room full of people. I was in pain. They were like me,
Yeah.
But then growing up and being in that environment under that circumstance, it just felt so heavy. And when I left and everything wore off and I was talking to my husband, he was like, well, so how was that? Because I know that wasn't intentional. And I was like, honestly, I just feel like I have to do something like about this. This is my community. This is my people.
Yep.
And everyone just felt like they were stuck kids. Like that's just what it felt like. And maybe you could call it the shrooms or, whatever. But that was my experience. And I was super scared to do anything about it. But my husband was like, it's the most you thing you could possibly do. Like
Right.
You love metal, you love helping people, you love coaching people, you love helping people overcome trauma. Like speak to your people. And I really had to baby step it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to start with the Instagram. And I started with like, I think just making reels using other people's videos. I was, just to be clear for everyone, I do not want to be an influencer at all. Like 0% do I want attention or people looking at me or my face or confidence on the internet. But it was kind of like a baby steps to, if I want to help people, I need to get myself out there.
Yep.
And it honestly took like probably 6 months for me to even have my face on something. But just hiding behind other people's content.
Very relatable.
It's not comfortable for me, but that's not a reason not to do it. So having, complex PTSD and the stress that goes with that, I really try to honor myself while I push my boundaries, because I know it's not just because it doesn't feel right doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. But it's not a push. I don't like bullying myself. I like, okay, let's get comfortable with this. Okay, let's get comfortable with this. Yep. And it's been going for almost 2 years now, and we just started a private community where that's really where we have a nice little group of people, and we're all healing together.
Yep.
And supporting each other, and that's really cool. So if all the discomfort of Instagram has led to that, it's not for nothing.
No, and it's that cliche. If you impact one person, you have changed a person's life that may not be around, or maybe in a really difficult situation, or got out of the situation and doesn't know how to assimilate now. This is all very common. Even this is going to show, even the mighty metal horror man, even God's gift to the metal, even the metal messiah himself, metal horror madman, had very humble beginnings on social media. And when I started doing my first TikToks were like, I remember I did 3 of them. I didn't know what a hashtag was. My face wasn't in anything. I sent them off. I revisited it like, I don't know, 6 months later. I was like, I want to try this again. And I was barely doing anything. Then I'd put my face on, and I was a nervous wreck. I would talk real low. You would never see what's going on now. Not in a billion years. I also didn't have my confidence of, like, I just didn't care. I might be in sweatpants and it was a weird phase of the lockdowns were not fun either, but that's when this like all was starting. And I kept doing it, and that's what I was doing, like out of my comfort zone. And then I was doing like trying to do like comedy, and it's shit. Like that's what happens when you start social media. It's usually trial and error. You think you're so great, and you're like, why is this getting no hits? And then years later, you're like, okay, all right, I see why. And I'd be like juggling beer bottles or something stupid. And then one day I did one, and because, okay, with me, every metalhead, all these guys have long hair. Like, here I am with no hair, like that. So I'd put on like metal wigs when I'd want to do my metal content. And then one day I did one where it was so bad and cringy. And it was like I did 10 different metal characters, but people liked it. They saw the innocence of it. With the other half of people, boomer, go fucking off yourself, you're a piece of shit, all that stuff. I'm like, guys, I have enough of that in my own head every day anyway. But I started doing that, and what happened is I got hair in my eye here. I'm very emotional. I have a dog and 5 cats, so there's hair flying around everywhere. I had one. I did the fucking Slayer one. Nowhere near what I could do now. I didn't have that confidence. Like my vocals of death metal I'm doing now, which is psychotic to me. I don't even know how that happened. Screaming the Slayers. And then people say, how can you scream? Your voice must die for like, I'm like, it never does. I'm one of those people with all this energy, so I don't sleep a lot. I could fall asleep at 4 a.m. and by 6 a.m. be ready to go for the day. And people are like, this is not normal. But I couldn't channel all that stuff till I got help. So this was in me. So now I'm the opposite. I don't know if you've been aware of me. I love attention. I need attention 24/7. I was just at the All Sinners video shoot. Great band, All Sinners. I have a small part in the video, professional whatever, guys.
Nice.
And when I left, I didn't start screaming fucking Slayers for everybody that knew me. I didn't put on a show. I didn't put on a show where I was gifted a Slayer thing. I'm not talking about myself. I'm not full of myself. No, I love the attention now. But not in of course, when I'm in Metal Horror Madman full character, right? That would be psychotic if I was really like that 24/7. But I like to meet people. I have, through my journey of telling you where, and then I started Instagram around that, and all I would do is post vinyl. I was never in the video. Never, ever. That would seem psychotic to me. And then over time, going after every app, and now when I go out, like I went out to this video shoot, and a bunch of people knew the Madman, but then there was people that didn't. But I talked to everybody. I literally would just mingle with everybody, talk to everybody, make everybody laugh, get to know people, make those connections, and I love it. I love it. I hate that. Now, I do have that other part of me still, though. It's in there.
Yeah.
That person, I'll get off stage announcing a band, be king of the world, and be going fucking crazy. And I will be on that car ride home like, you piece of shit. That was garbage. Why would you go up there? Why did you do that? Why couldn't you just fucking calm down? You missed the line. You did this wrong. Or I'll go out and maybe I'll be screaming Slayers, but I just scream one too much and my throat gets dry and I miss it. Nobody knows or cares, right? Nobody. They're all happy. They're cheering me on. And I am just like, you're garbage. Like, that was shit. So people don't know that's always, even in the madman's head. That's in the madman's head, but I have learned to push that part down, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it's there, though. Respect it. Respect it could come back at any time. And just say, I'm living my life. I want to help. Even with the stuff I do, I'm not trying to pretend I'm doing anything that you're doing, or I'm sitting here like professionally helping people with things. But
You are, though.
Thank you. I like
in your own way. You are.
Yeah, I meet these kids and they'll tell me so many problems going on at home or relationships or ailments they have, and I will give them all the time in the world. And I'll hear this over and over where they're like, it was funny at this photo shoot because I was literally talking to people and they were just like, I'll hear this all the time. You're just so chill and down to earth. Like, we're expecting Macho Man Randy. I'm like, if I was like that 24/7, I'd have a heart attack. If this was coming out, right? But the funniest thing is I do that. Talking to someone, like, yeah, can you believe how calm I was the whole time? And then there was these kids that wanted me to do the Slayer. And they're like, they gave me this one-of-a-kind Slayer thing, which I still can't believe I got. And I was like, we got to do some fucking Slayers. And they're like, yeah, let's film it. So she messaged me. She's like, 2 minutes after you told me how well-behaved and calm you were, and you were just keeping your levels down because you like went fucking ballistic with fucking Slayers. And I go, because that's where my confidence level is now. And I know people are going to enjoy it. And so, yes, I do it in a different way. And I'm trying so hard with anybody that knows my account knows, yeah, of course it's a metal account, Slayer. But this guy likes to have comedy. He likes to have fun. And I'm trying to uplift people at all times. So even my metal, I have a heavy metal gatekeeper character. I don't use a lot. I used to use it a lot. I'd wear my suit. I'd stand in front of metal gates on TikTok. That's how I earned my bones on social media. And on Instagram, they didn't know much about it because, like, I started that later. But I did that character as a joke to make fun of gatekeeping, how, like, stupid it is. But I don't even do that as much anymore just because, like, I'd rather just tell you, like, listen to what you want. Like, don't take anything from anybody. So, yeah, I believe in your messaging. I am doing it in my own way, in a different way. But you are.
I gotta say, I love your character, that you do, like the metal horror thing. I swear, like, when I found your Instagram, I was like, this guy doesn't even realize, like, you are the voice inside my head. Like, I don't know why I was born in this body with this hair, and, like, you are like my alter ego. Like, you are the voice that's in my head all the time when people are talking or
that's funny.
Whatever, like that's what it is though. Like, there's always that in my head. And then I'm just sitting here like,
it's a lot, right? It's a lot to keep
no,
that
I love
in.
it. It's very entertaining. I feel very seen. I'm like, that's why you're so comforting to me, because I'm like, you're the voice in my head all the time. It just doesn't come out. I have like the most high-pitched, annoying female voice.
It's
and Batman lives in my head too, rent-free.
I mean, who doesn't want to have Batman?
Comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have Batman, and then we also have inner critics. That's what we call the voice that's that inner critic.
Yep.
I'd rather stick to the Batman voices. Pay attention to those ones more.
Stay attention to those positive, good voices, and that's what it's all about. And we all have those different sides of us, those different things inside of us, right? And it's like, so I could be this out, brash, aggressive things, but sometimes people don't know. One of my favorite things is to go like snuggle up on the couch with my cats and just like be in a little ball and like just be under my blankets in the darkness and watch my podcast and just. And I'm not, and again, yes, I definitely have an attention thing where I love attention. And when I go out, I need all the attention. And I'm like, if you ever cross paths at a festival or something, it's like a bomb. I drop a bomb off. Like, it's as crazy as my social media is. I take that out in public. And the reason I do that, besides loving it and being full of myself, I'm trying to break down those barriers. I love when I finally get someone to yell at Slayer, because they usually won't go. What you see me do on social media, I do out in public. Full blown. I was at a McDonald's. I've told this story before. I was at a McDonald's, and they were sitting there. They took my order. I get to the first window. They take the headset. They throw it down. They're like, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, "Oh, these kids!" Like, I used to do stupid shit. I worked at Little Caesars Pizza when I was 17. No idea they know who Metal Horror Madman is, but they know who Metal Horror Madman is, and they open a little window and they're like, "Are you who we think you are?" And because I need attention, the only thing I could have said, "Yeah, it's me. Thanks for the support." Or, "Yeah." Instead, I screamed the loudest fucking Slayer through the drive-through window. Everybody in the store is looking at me, the manager, the customers. Now, they're trying to take selfies. I'm like, relax. I'll pull a car over. And that's when people are like, I'm like, guys, I may be full of myself, but I love all of them. I wouldn't be able to go out and have this fun unless these people supported me. I appreciate them on every level. I appreciate learning about their stories. But with that being said, yes, I have crossed over where I couldn't do this at one point. Like I could only be in my head, and I have now crossed over to I've been through everything 10 times over that I just don't care anymore. And if I can help as many people as possible, that's what I want to do. That's all I want to do.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. You probably, like, growing up, just with what you've shared a little bit, you probably spent so much time, not feeling very free and bottled up and things constantly coming at you. And it took time for you to be this free and open. That's what it is. Like, I don't think it's ego, man. I think it's just full self acceptance and freedom. And you don't have to worry about what you say anymore. No one's going to fucking yell at you. Like,
True.
You can express, be exactly who you are. And you have done this enough repetitively that your body knows that it's safe to do. And you're just living it now. And I think that's awesome.
That is so great to hear. And definitely, I mean, even the tattoos that was frowned upon in even though my house was a trash bag house, it was like, parents didn't want to get tattoos and they give you fake excuses, but they just didn't want to feel the pain and like to go. So it's like I am in this free place now, and I just do everything I want, and I want to get other people to be free. And I know that's your messaging as well. And I really do appreciate everything you're doing. I really think this is a really strong brand. I think this is going to grow more and more. Everything just takes time. It just takes time on social media. Like you said, you may not be looking to be an influencer, but in a way, it's just going to happen. That's just the way things work. And I'm really glad you were able to stop by on this podcast. I know you had talked about Women of the Pit, who I love. I got to tell you, I'm still that little kid with all the metalheads. Like, when I got to message Lisa back and forth, little does she know, I'm like fucking geeking the fuck out, because Lisa and Gary grew up seeing them in magazines and shit and all these shows and stuff. And it's like, these are icons and titans of the industry for me. Like, these are just, and when I'm out, I can usually keep it together for the most part, but I'm still a kid when I meet certain people. And like, I just know how I get with certain things, and it's just genuine excitement. It's because it's like when people will come to me and be like, this was the greatest day of my life. And like, I've said that to people, and it's like, whether they mean it or not mean it, it's like, you're having that impact on them. And sometimes you have to just go like, it's okay that I have that impact on them and that these other people have the impact on me, even they don't know what's going on. But yeah, you are doing great work. You are doing something. We got to get you out there more podcasts, more messaging. I'm going to do some kind of video. I'll think of something. It'll be really stupid and wacky, which you're comfortable with. So that's good. I want to try, and if you have anything, when you have stuff coming up, please just message me. You see, I share stuff for everybody. I try and help, because I've had even people with the podcast going like, yeah, you have some of the bigger name. Why are you getting like all the big name bands? I'm like, they have an outlet everywhere. Everywhere. I want to get the people that don't have the outlet. I want to talk to people that aren't getting their voice, or let's get their voice heard. This is the stuff I'm passionate about and I'm sincere about. And if you want to let everybody know where to find you, how to reach you if they are struggling, you've got some sick merch. You've got some sick designs. It's really cool. It's metal as shit. Let us know where we can find. And you're always welcome back on here, as more and more things start happening. And if you have something you want to do, just message me. You see people that'll be repeat on here and stuff. Those are people that treat, I have a thing where, like, because of that upbringing, because of the abuse, anybody, and my ego, anybody that treats me good, anybody that's nice, anyone I get that feeling, I am a loyalist forever. And I've had people in bands sometimes like, you just doing too much, like, and I'm like, but I'm not. It's never too much to me, and I don't mind it. I don't mind sharing other people's stuff. I don't mind doing hype videos. I love doing all that. So I will shut up for a
I
second.
appreciate it so much. You have like such big brother vibes for me.
Thank you.
And I have that protective part too. Like that I grew up very bullied, but I was the one who beat up the bullies when I saw it with everyone else. Like we have so many parts that I feel like are the same.
Yeah.
Maybe born differently, but
Yep.
very protective and just want to help as many people as I can. And I feel like if I don't care if this is the only reason why I want this to be big is because I want to help a lot of people.
Yep.
But it's not for me. I just wanted to create spaces that I needed when I was a kid that didn't exist. And at the very least, I mean, what I'm doing is healing. It's healing my past self. So
Yeah.
it's cool to share that. And hopefully it's more than what just I need and other people need it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm on Instagram right now, GetMetalHealth. And then we have a private community in school that's really cool. It's under the school app. And it is $15 a month. In there, you get private coaching with me. My messages are always open there. But on top of that, it's a huge, I mean, it's a support system. So we have daily journaling prompts that are all on self-discovery, healing, getting to know yourself, digging deep, but you're not doing it alone. We have community playlists. We have fun stuff that we do over the weeks too, but it's book studies. It's just a lot of, hey, we're doing this, but let's do it together and helping each other through. So that's been really cool. But that is School Metal Health. If you go on the school app, you can also get it through my Instagram links. And then I also have a website, GetMetalHealth.com, and I have free resources there. So anything, if you just need directed, if you need hotlines for emergencies, if you need book references, that's all going to be on the website. And we just started a band ambassador program. So we're getting bands on board that are supporting the mental health message, and they're going to start making announcements for us on tours and representing it. So hopefully that'll help us grow, because I mean, I'm doing my best, but you can't compare. If your idol's on stage and makes a comment about mental health and how you fucking matter, you're going to listen to them more. I'm never going to be that guy. You know, I'm never going to be that cool. But yeah, just help direct people. So if you are a band and you support the mental health message and everything that we're trying to do for the metal community, reach out to me. I'm not necessarily, I'm working with bigger bands and smaller bands. I don't care if this matters to you and it's important to you. Let me know if you're interested in that too.
That is awesome, and I'm going to clip a lot of this too. That way I'll put it in my stories when we release this episode, so we can just keep getting that out there, and I'll share it a lot in there. So important, guys. I know a lot of you out there too. I know a lot of you out there that could use this help by talking to you, and don't be afraid to reach out for it. You're hearing free resources. You're hearing stuff for $15 a month. At the very least, follow her page, support this message. It's very, very important. Don't lie to yourself. I needed help. The madman himself, right? Invincible now. I got that way from getting help. If I was left to my own devices, let me tell you, this train stopped rolling 10 years ago. This thing was going to be over. So I look at that, and that's why I said, like, I love the vibe you put out. I know you're doing some stuff with you, but if you get even more and more comfortable to do some skits and things like that, out of your comfort zone, all that's going to do is help with that algorithm. You know, unfortunately, with all these social media platforms, if you don't do the certain things, they just don't reward you.
Hey, I'm up for anything that you think would help. Any ideas? I'll try anything. You know.
Yep.
I did want to say too, with the Instagram.
Yeah.
My private community is just because I couldn't help as many people one-on-one. So that was a way that I quit private coaching for the most part. That's what I'm doing now. I could just reach more people.
Okay.
But my Instagram also is always open. It's all free resources. My DMs are always open. I will talk to people in my DMs about anything.
Yep.
It's not like I'm like, no, you have to get in my private community. I'm just trying to help people. If you want to heal with people, come join us. But if you just need a little help or a resource, like, please message me. That's what I'm here for.
That is beyond nice of you, and that is what people really need to understand. She really means that. You give those sincere vibes. You can tell she wears her heart on her sleeve. Like I said, we private message and we're like, how did we even get this time together? We don't know what we're doing. We have no idea. We're not as cool as everybody thinks all the time. We're out there trying to help people, and you got to go reach out for that help. And yeah, let's see even if I can figure out some collabs and stuff we can do. And I don't mind being on camera, everybody. So even if I could, I've learned the way I've helped get a lot of stuff to grow too is like, unfortunately, I have to start a video and it's almost like clickbait, right? It's a different topic and then it leads into that. I'm not talking rage bait. I'm not a fan of any of that stuff. I don't want to see people get up. I don't even want to see people. I've reached this pinnacle of humanity, this weird place that I've got to, where I don't even want to trick people into like thinking they're gonna. I did an April Fool's video the other day where I was like quitting social media, pretending, and I was like, I didn't even want the people going like, man, don't scare me, like, because I know what the struggles are like that. So again, I really appreciate what you're doing. It's very positive for the scene. Awesome with the bands, because guys, meeting plenty of our heroes in the bands too, guys. Let me tell you, we're all human, okay? And the more of those acts that get this out there, the more of us influencers that could come out there and say, like, I believe in this 1,000,000%. This is something that is life-changing for people. This is something that's very appreciated to have that safe space, because that's what you're providing too, guys. This is a space. There's no judgment here. You just reach out, see if she can help you, she will. Okay? It's that simple. And there's no trick, there's no trap with anything. That's the tough guy. That's the guy, that's the real badass, the badass chick. Those are the ones that you look up to that go, I'm severely flawed, right? The madman is severely flawed. What goes on in this brain every day is not normal. People that really, really know me go, how? How do you even function like that? And it's like, well, I got tools. I had to go get help.
Yeah.
I have a tool belt now. So, yeah, it's constant racing. That's definitely what the insomnia is. And people, did you take melatonin? No, I never heard of melatonin. No, I just count sheep. Have you taken this? Did you try these edibles? No, I haven't. What a shocker. But my brain's being like
with
that.
You.
You got it.
I hate the guru shit. Like how you hate gatekeeping.
Yep.
The guru thing in the healing community is my it's my thing. It drives me nuts. Like I'm not gonna sell somebody like, oh look, I'm this healed person and I'm all better and I don't have any struggles and you can be like me if you do X, Y, and Z. Like that's what so much is out there too. And no one's like that really. Like you're just a master at disassociating if that's where you're at that point. Like, so a lot of it, like I share my struggles and because I want you to know that I'm a person, like I have really good days. I have a lot of tools that can help me and I'll share those tools with you, but I still wake up with night terrors and I still have triggers that I have to work through.
Yeah.
And if sharing those problems and those triggers and those struggles that I have on the day in and day out help somebody, I would rather them look at me and go, oh, look, that's relatable, than look at me and think that I am better or healed or some, more evolved version of them. Like, it's just not real. Like I'm healing through my own stuff. I have really bad days. I have really good days.
Yep.
But I am an open book. I want to share what I'm battling. I don't want to act like I'm not selling anything, what you get is what you get.
Yeah. No, you're giving those vibes, and again, I'm gonna have to do a second episode. I'm trying not to keep you too long here. I gotta end this thing. But I'm sitting here going like, I totally get what you're talking with, and even I've had stuff too with PTSD. I've had stuff where again, meeting bands, meeting new friends, meeting vendors and stuff like that. And there was an instance where someone in a moment snapped at me with something. They didn't mean to. They were rude. They didn't mean to. My reaction was kind of like, fuck you now. I'm out. And I like went away for 2 hours. 2 hours when they really needed me. And you know, then came back and it was an argument, right? And it's just like, and I was like, I wasn't trying to argue. And they're like, people know me again. I can't, if somebody's in danger, the madman turns a switch. It's crazy. It's just how I'm programmed. But like with this, I was as calm as could be. And as you know, sometimes that just makes the person angrier now.
Yeah.
And then and I was like, listen, and then she understood when I was like, my PTSD from stuff in my house, I'm never being talked to like that again. Like, I demand respect. I give respect. I'm super loyal. I cause no trouble. I will help everybody. Everybody at all times. Everybody in this scene that knows me. I mean, I've had stuff where it's like, hey, like, we're big fans of you. If you come to the show, like, you know, we'll pay you X. And I'll just be like, no. I'll go. You want to give me tickets? I'll take the tickets. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah.
That's different to me. But I'm not going to take your money for I'm just not. Like, if I like you, I'm going to do it because I want to. If there's way, you know, there are ways to make money with all this stuff. I'd prefer to do it not from that avenue, right? Where I'm just going like, I'm offering to help. That's what I'm doing. Now, like, and that's what you're doing. That's what you're saying. You have all these open channels at all times. Again, guys, to where you can do it. To where you can. Everybody also, you have to understand, you have to be respectful of Jordan's, you know, she has a life and she has a lot going on. She has a lot of people needing help. So don't always get offended if everything can't be resolved in supersonic times. And that's why I really like the thing where you said where for $15 you're in this group session. And, you know, that's like certain things I have with certain things. And it's like, guys, that's such a little bit of money to get some really strong help and can lead you down these other paths. And I think the biggest thing is like what you said, it's not about the content. It's not about all this other stuff. It's getting us. It's getting us badasses to go, we're all so flawed. And I just saw a comedian that was like an ex-fighter or whatever. And he was great because he just went out and he's like doing the whole macho thing. And he's like playing the crowd stuff where he's hitting on girl. And then he goes, that doesn't make me a tough guy. Like me trying to, you know, steal your girlfriend from that. He's like, that's not what a man does. He's like, I like horses. I like cows. I like to go. He's like, oh, I'm so manly, right? He's like, I think other men are handsome. Oh, no. Like, look at me. And it was just great the way he broke it down. And this guy, another guy that looks like, and he probably snap everybody's neck in 2 seconds. But then he started talking about just what we started talking about. This is what they see. This isn't what's in here. And he goes, I have so much trauma in my life and things and learning. And again, I feel like sometimes we make mistakes, and I see it, you know, in this scene a lot with addictions and substances. And I'm no saint here. I'm not trying to act like guys do what everyone wants to do. Just know there's consequences when things get out of control. And one of my worst things is to see, especially, I talked about this before, and people can be being sexist all the time because it's all women. And I'm like, no, it's just, I just can't stand when someone's guy or girl that's vulnerable. More often than not, you know, it's a woman being taken advantage of and getting drunk or being given drugs and stuff like that. And that shit is just not right. And the thing, it's still, we're not there yet, right? We're not there yet because you speak out, and sometimes that doesn't help you. That turns everybody against you, especially when someone from a famous band. And I hear these things, and I just get so angry about it, but I understand. I can't, you know, you have to play it the right way. You don't want the victim to get hurt, retaliation.
Right.
You know, I don't have to tell you any of this stuff, but like, guys, that's not what you want to be. That is narcissistic garbage to me. I have no use for those people. Like, I can't stand when people make excuses for some of these people in band. And they make excuses. Like, and I get in arguments with people, right? And I'm just like, no, they shouldn't have done that with you or to you. That is fucking disgusting. Like, and then I got to be honest, Jordan, yes, the big brother always kicks in. And I'm like, if I see that motherfucker, and that's my problem. And if I do, I know if it's somebody I know that it happened to, I can't keep my mouth shut. I just can't. And I hope we could get the word out more where it's so hard to come forward. It's so hard to come forward. But then
we have to look at people as a whole. You know, a lot of times we compartmentalize people because it makes it easier for us. You know, so if somebody's, oh, I love that, you know, I love that singer from that band, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it just came out that he like beat the shit out of his wife. oh, but I like their music still. Oh, she was probably lying. You know, people make excuses or they compartmentalize the person, you know,
Right.
into little sections.
Perfect.
And you got to look at it as the whole person, you know.
Yep.
I'm not saying don't listen to whatever, but you need to be honest with yourself and you need to look at the whole picture. Like, what are you supporting? Is that something that you feel good about supporting? And then you're right, like whenever this happens and people don't understand abuse and they don't understand sexual assault, they don't understand grooming or coercive, like the coercion, they don't understand these things. And so when women are bold enough to come out and speak out about it, most of the time they're just getting called a liar or,
Oh my God, did you
you
like?
know, ran through or a whore or whatever. And it's hard enough to be a victim and then to get bullied for it. You wonder why, you know, girls don't talk, but it's not a reason not to speak up.
It's true.
You should still set yourself as free as you can. If you're like a woman and you've been through any of that, um, having other people support you or not is not a reason to not get help or speak out. Like it's your truth, and there's nothing more healing even for you to hear your own voice, stick up for yourself and take a stance. I'm not saying that it's something you have to do, but if you're able to, it's very freeing and it'll help you heal.
great advice. And last thing real quick, I know because I just saw that thing with like the couple of guys from our Practical Jokers, right? And it's a thing going on with them and the one especially. And you know, the first thing everybody did immediately was like, the girl's lying. That's it. Like, because we love this character. He's amazing. Yeah. Like, you know, we love him on his show. And it's like, guys, like, I got bad news for you too. Most of the people you're meeting out there are nothing like you're seeing. It's two different personalities. Some of us, yes, wear our heart on our sleeves, but most don't. And that bothered me. And then all of a sudden, like, the thing that's great, I have seen a big change in, like, never saw this 80s, 90s at all, is where people are going like, well, even if she is 18 or 19, but if the guy is 50 and she's showing up drunk and she's showing up looking at my idol, so even if she has intentions to do something that's probably not going to be healthy for her, he knows enough. He's been around long enough. He knows to say, don't even get in that situation. Just don't even get in that situation. And guys or girls, anyone doing these things, it's always going to backfire. Eventually, this stuff always comes out. It always comes out. We have seen superstars in, you know, in their 60s and 70s, careers destroyed, in jail. It's all good. Don't go down that path. Like, and if you have those problems, go get help for that too. That's the thing to do before you commit some fucking atrocity and ruin somebody's life or multiple people's lives. And like I said, I've heard so many stories with young girls and guys in bands. It's just fucking troubling and annoying. And then I've seen girls that were like, I hooked up with this guy when I was young, and then like still want to hook up with him even though he was garbage. But then all of a sudden it's 10 years later and they're like, oh, he doesn't want to talk to me now. I'm like, because you're not a little kid anymore. You're not somebody that you can manipulate and take advantage of. Like, they're just going to focus on those age groups. So, yes, go speak out, get help. And it is changing, right? We do see progress. There's more and more of us out there.
There's a lot of progress, I will say. It's still heartbreaking, but there's a lot of progress. Growing up, I just got to say, I never went to a show without getting my ass grabbed. And that is just a very minimal, small like thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to minimize it though. Keep your hands to yourself.
Right.
But every show it was expected. And I would not, it shouldn't matter what you fucking wear, but also I wasn't sending mixed signals with my clothes either at shows. I was going to mosh. But yeah, every single time, multiple times. And I would end up, I was very angry. I'd beat the shit out of whoever did it.
Yeah.
In my younger state, vigilante style. But yeah, getting older, it has improved a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say that it still happens, but not as frequently. And people, there's more protective men at shows than aggressors, way more. So even if it does happen, like, hey, I did MMA and Muay Thai like for my whole life, so I got me. But I appreciate protective men,
Yeah.
like healthy, protective masculinity, like big brother shit. Like
Yeah.
I love it's something I didn't have, so I became my own protector.
Yeah.
But there is so much more of that at shows. So even if there's a scumbag here or there, there seems to be like a much more of a brotherhood than there used to be.
There's so much more.
Healthy men who are healing, looking out for people, protecting women, using their voice like our madman here. Thank you. I see you, and there is such a big place in my heart for you, and that is why I'm doing mental health too, because there's a lot of the negative with men that is highlighted in the news too.
Yeah,
we see it. I see you guys though. I see the good. I've been through a lot of abuse with men, and so whenever I see a good like protective man, I like you got me. You got my heart.
It's appreciative, and thank you for getting that message out too, because that's another thing. And then I'm really going to shut up and let you go. She's keeping on here for hours. It's because what was happening too is if you would be protector, oh, you're just white knighting to try and get in their pants, and you're like, no, like I used to say, I'm like white knighting. I'm common sense knighting. I am common sense knighting. I am so tired of like every fucking girl, even like these girls that front the hardcore bands. Oh, they're just industry plants, or this girl from this band ripped this riff. I'm like, you're not accusing the guys of that stuff. Like, what are you fucking talking about? So that's appreciated for that message to get out. It has been a pleasure to have you on. We've got to have you back on in a little bit. You know, we'll talk clearly. See, we didn't know what to talk about. There's too much to talk about. There's too much to talk about. I love talking about these topics. You delivered it perfectly. Everybody, go follow the page. We'll put the links in this when it's out. We'll do clips on Insta and TikTok. We'll just keep getting your message out. I'll try and think of some fun things we can do to just get videos and messages out. And just keep doing what you're doing. And people that have suffered, it is great to see somebody